In today's video, I'm going to tell you why scrape hunting is the best way to take down a mature buck from late October through early November. If you're an experienced whitetail hunter, you already know this, but for beginners or those just wanting to learn a little bit more, a scrape is an area of exposed earth that is created from a buck pawing at the ground. These scrapes are almost always paired with a low-hanging branch overhead, referred to as a licking branch. A scrape can be thought of as an advertisement or a job resume where scent is left by the buck to let all of the does and the competing bucks in the area know that there's a buck around capable of doing the job of breeding the first does to come into heat. A single scrape will more than likely have multiple bucks using it and leaving scent. This is partly the reason a buck may frequent the same scrape periodically. He wants his scent advertised when the time comes. This is similar to a dog peeing on every mailbox in sight. They want to let the other dogs around that area know that this is their house and they will have to have a fight if they cross that line. You can expect to find more does hanging around these scrapes this time of the year in preparation of being bred. Now that we've given a general overview on scrapes, let's talk about where you can expect to find them. The easiest place to spot them by far is along field edges with overhanging limbs. The next best place I would look would be travel corridors that run between food and bedding. Older ATV trails beside a heavy cover are a popular place where we find most of our scrapes. A majority of these scrapes are in the same location every single year, while some of them may come and go from year to year. It all just depends. Multiple scrapes may be located in clusters. My dad likes to refer to those as scrape plots, or within yards of each other in a line. Those would be called scrape lines. Scrapes can also be located by themselves. They can be all out on an island in the middle of the woods, just totally away from everything. I prefer hunting close to the clusters because I feel like it increases the odds, but the singular scrapes, time and time again, prove to be just as effective in my opinion. If I had to choose between the two, it depends on which one is the freshest. Scrapes located in the woods are fairly easy to determine if it is fresh or not. If the scrape is covered up with leaves, it hasn't been checked in a while. The ones that are opened up are the ones you want to focus on. Field edge scrapes can be hard to determine freshness, as a lot of the time the ground can be dried out from the sun that it catches during the day. Another important point is when scouting these scrapes, try to avoid leaving a bunch of scent in the area and avoid touching the branches, especially the licking branch. Pay close attention to them though, as sometimes you may notice a wet spot in the scrape coming from a deer peeing in it, or even smell the musty odor from a buck that has visited recently. This would be the optimal time to hunt it. Finding fresh scrapes just takes time with boots on the ground. There really isn't anything complicated to it. The tricky part is the stand setup. I prefer to set downwind of the scrapes in the woods as close as possible to the bedding area. I feel that these are the ones that have the highest chance of being checked during the daytime. The ones along the field edges are most likely to be checked at night. The wind is really the biggest key to it all. If you can stay mobile with a saddle setup or a climber, you can position yourself differently for different wind directions. I prefer to sit around 20 yards of the scrape, but if the wind won't allow it, I can back off and try to stay within 100 yards or so from it, and maybe catch them coming to it or leaving the scrape. For many hunters in the Midwest, the peak of this pre-rut pattern is coming to a close at the time of this video being released. Bucks are now actively seeking out hot does to breed. Keep that in mind over the next few weeks if you aren't finding any fresh scrapes. There's no need to abandon the area, as these bucks are most likely just moving on to the next step in the process. Sitting close to this previously left sign is still a winning option. After all, there's a reason these bucks spent the time making these scrapes in that particular area. Just stay close to this sign and you'll find success. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, or if you have any tips that you find helpful about this topic, also let us know. Other than that, be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more upcoming hunting strategy videos.